So this is gonna be, why do you need to post now before 2027? A lot of you guys say, I talk to you guys a lot in the DMs, or even like a lot of my students before they were join the program, and you guys always say, bro, like I know I should be posting, but I just never start, or I know I could do better, but you guys never really start. And I'm gonna be explaining exactly, the longer that you wait, you are lowering your chances to actually be a successful barber, whether it's this year or next year or just your whole career. Now we are gonna take some notes and talk about 3 huge topics on exactly why it's really important and why the social media industry is evolving, as time goes. Now, before maybe you guys might not know me, or you guys maybe see me here and there. I was a barber in Berwyn, Illinois, super small town city in Chicago with a population of 50,000 people. And I was able to scale. Before, I was making like 4 to maybe 5K a month for almost a year and a half, charging 30 bucks a haircut. And because I learned the social media marketing and because I took action, I was able to go up from $30 a haircut to $250 a cut in literally 11 months, making me the most expensive, not just in my city, but literally around the whole US at 19 years old. So if we take some notes, we all know, and this has been based on my students and even when I was posting. Now, as a barber and as a viewer, in order for a viewer to actually want to decide and go with you, there has to be a lot of trust. If you have no trust from a viewer, how do you expect the client or him to become a new client? Now, a lot of time when I was cutting hair, like I would post so much content, and I would really be authentic on camera, that whenever I had new clients, they would always be like, bro, like I feel like I've been knowing you for years, and I just been seeing your content. I've never met you, like my first time. So nowadays, it is so hard to trust. I mean, maybe even when I probably even hit you up or even DM'd you, and you're like, this probably like AI, or like this guy's a scam, or he's not real. And the thing is, like, as the time goes on, trust is becoming a huge issue. So imagine if you already have trust issues, whether it's with business or whatever the case is. Like, imagine what a viewer thinks before even booking an appointment, let alone if you're not even posting. So we all know that trust is just going down, especially for viewers. And if you have nothing on social media to really prove your work, or like who you are, or how to even find you, how do you expect somebody to even want to come with you in general? So you really need to start posting now, because the longer that you wait, you're actually making it harder for yourself. You might believe me, you either take action or you wait and you find out. Number 2, now a lot of barbers, which is almost 90% of barbers, including myself, or even before I invested into myself, before I even got on social media, rely on the OG method. Now, a lot of you guys expect to consistently get booked out, to consistently make more income per month, to consistently want to efficiently raise your prices by relying on word of mouth, walk-ins, and business cards. Now, that might have worked maybe 7 to 8 years ago, when nobody was really on social media. I mean, now think about it. Everything that, even when you're scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, when something happens in the news, or if some new shoes came out, or if I kind of bring it to barbering, the only reason why a lot of trends go even viral is because it's evolving all around social media, like the Martin buzz cut, the 16 guard, and a lot of you guys have heard those videos and seen those videos before. And the reason why they went viral, Marlon he's not even a barber. Think about it. Marlon was not a barber, but how did he get into the barber industry? Is all through social media. It became trend, it went viral, and which is the reason why people started doing that. But just in general, whether it's the World Cup or whatever the case is, everything is evolving with what you post on social media and how you can relate it to a viewer. Word of mouth, walk-ins, and business cards, I can confidently say that this is not gonna work anymore. You guys know it. If you're a barber that relies on walk-ins, word of mouth, or business cards, you are basically, whether you admit it or not, you are basically guessing your business next month. Whether maybe this month you got, I don't know, like 20 walk-ins and maybe like 10 word of mouth and maybe like 1 or 2 off business cards. You are not guaranteed that you will get that next month, and you're basically guessing out your income month after month. Some of you guys have a good month of 3, 4, 5, 6K a month, but then it goes down to 4, and then one time it goes to 3, and then 5. And it's like, you don't want to be guessing your business and don't want to be relying on this, because you know that this is the OG method. Unless you plan on cutting hair for 15 years or the rest of your life, charging $35 a haircut, and yeah, maybe making 6, 7, or 8K a month, but being behind the chair all fucking day. Now, if you ask yourself, do I want to be that barber? Totally up to you guys. But you guys see the results from my students, maybe from like a coworker or a friend that already invested into himself, and you guys see how much he grew with posting on social media. Then you know exactly what you need to do, and you need to post now. Stop waiting more months, more weeks, more years, because the longer that you wait, I mean, nothing's really gonna change. Like, you could say that you want change, but if there's no action taken, nothing's gonna happen. And the big one that I really, really think that you guys are being so fucking selfish with each other is, it's honestly bigger than you. Yeah, you will say like, oh, like, you know, I wanna make more money, or like, I wanna like, you know, grow because, you know, I might wanna get myself, you know, I don't wanna rely on my parents, especially if you're Mexican, you know, like growing up, fathers never wanna, like, bro, like, you gotta learn how to be independent, don't wanna rely on anybody. And yeah, you might wanna, you know, one day move out on your own, buy a house, maybe build a barbershop, or buy a place, or, you know, buy a nice car, whatever the case is. But, you know, regardless of, you know, the house, the barbershop, the car, you know, your own place, like, regardless of this, it's literally bigger than you. Now, for all my Hispanics, whether it was from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, does not matter. If your parents were not born in the US, like, generally take a moment. I don't know if your parents ever like gave you guys a story of their life or how everything like happened, you know, from maybe your parents meeting. But as far as for me, like, my dad crossed the Mexican border at 16 years old and my mom at 9 years old. Now, if you think about it, your parents already had a life with family, a life with friends, and maybe not the brightest future, but they had their life. They risked their childhood for you so that you can actually have something better to do. They didn't even think about themselves. They thought about their future. And yeah, social media was not a big thing at all when they were born. Phones were probably not even made yet. They never thought about themselves, but they thought about the bigger picture, which was you. And as far as for me, like if my parents, like if I saw my parents growing up, I mean, like my whole story of my parents and like the struggles that they did, is like a lot of you guys Mexicans, like your parents started with nothing. And if you guys look at your life right now, they're somehow still figuring it out. And it's like you as a barber, that you know that you could be doing better and you're simply choosing not to. And as far as like for me, like that's kind of like why I was doing all this, relying on walk-ins, word of mouth, business cards. You know, I never knew nothing about, like, I was not really into social media like that. But once I finally unlocked this, I was like, you know what? Like, my parents, my siblings, I'm the oldest brother. And I was like, my dad always taught me to hustle, always taught me to like learn and never depend on nobody else. And I was like, as an older like sibling, why wouldn't I that have the opportunity want to put a bigger picture on, you know, like as a role model to my brothers and siblings? Like, think about it. Like, aren't you fucking tired of seeing your parents, you know, get home, maybe sometimes even struggling with paying rent, and you're just fucking sitting in the couch, or you're just doing the bare minimum, even if you're cutting hair, but you're just doing the bare minimum, knowing damn well that you could do way better. Now, I don't know about you guys, but like, I wouldn't want to see my parents basically fucking die just working. I would not. And that's actually the reason why me, myself, wanted and did actually took action in my business, not just for me, because it was never about me, but it was about my family and the bigger picture. Fun fact, my brother actually cuts hair now. I started working in a car wash, and then I transitioned to barbering. And my brother was working at Dunkin', and now he's actually a barber himself. And my brother, he's not even a full year in, and he's already averaging like 6K a month, probably like 40, 45 new clients. Literally in like the past like 4 to 5 months. Literally, why? Because I always chose the bigger picture, and I chose myself, that it was never about me. And I kind of like poured into my family, and I mean, my younger brother is now cutting hair. With this being said, there's no trust. If there's no trust, you will never generate over 100 new clients, and that's guaranteed. Especially let alone if you're not posting on social media. 2, you cannot be relying on the OG method, especially if I've texted one of you guys, or you guys say like, bro, like, I don't want to be cutting hair for the rest of my life, like, or I don't want to be charging the same amount for the rest of my life. And you say that, but if you're just relying on this, then you're not speaking into your actions of your words. And 3, start thinking about your bigger picture, not just you. Like, no, not just a nice house, not just a nice barbershop, not just a nice car. Think about the bigger picture. But none of this matters if you never take action and start posting now. Now, another thing I want to talk about, the bright side of actually taking action, starting to post, because you know they should have been posting since probably last year. And like I said, the best time to post was a few months ago, when you know that you should have been posting. The second best time, now. Now, if you guys are not as in touch with social media, and you guys are not really understanding why it's really important, because some of you guys are not, like, you know, not in the technical side or whatever the case is, urgency is always gonna matter. This is exactly why a lot of people, or a lot of barbers, get into bad situations, as in not being able to support their family, not being able to pay rent, not being able to support themselves or their girlfriend or their wife or their kids, because there was never urgency. Until something bad happens to you in your situation, whether let's say your mom's sick and you can't pay the bills, that is exactly when you realize, damn, like, I have to fucking lock in. I have to do something about it, because if not, what? And if that has not happened to you, why would you rather wait until something's gonna happen when you already know what is the problem? So there has to be urgency and consistency in order to get all these. And I'll kind of go one by one. Now, the bright side, we all say that we want financial freedom, but financial freedom looks super different for everybody, because everybody has different goals. Everybody has a different situation. Everybody has something different in their plate. But just because you are posting every single day does not mean that you'll eventually find financial freedom. Because what also matters is not just you posting, but actually knowing what to post. Because if you're just kind of like guessing, copying, like doing it on your own, some of you guys have been doing that, trying to find financial freedom. But if you're posting every single day for 365 days and it's not working, then you also know that at that point, there has to be something to change. Now, in order to get more new clients, you need to be known as well. Like, people need to see who you are, your work. When you start posting, people actually start seeing you, whether it's in your city, in bigger expanded radius, but people will start eventually seeing you, which would mean more clients. That's exactly what it is. When you get the right visibility, you can generate more new clients. With no visibility, you're just relying on word of mouth, walk-ins, and business cards. Now, when you have more visibility, you are higher in demand. You start generating more new clients. You are maybe booked out at 45, 50 bucks. That is when you are on demand. And when there's demand, you can properly raise your prices. A lot of you guys want to go up in price because you've been charging 40 bucks for the last 2 years. And you're like, damn, like, I feel like I'm worth charging, you know, maybe from 45 to like 50 bucks. And when you get the right visibility, you get more new clients, and when there's demand, you go up in price. Now, in our program with me and Tristan, when we work with our private students, I think $5 a haircut I mean, going up in price by $5 is like stagnant. Because imagine if it takes you 2 years to go up in price by $5, how long will it take you to get to the 70? You'll still probably be cutting hair for another 8, 10 years before you even get there. And in our program, the minimum that we go up in price is $15. And we usually vary from like $15 to $25 jump. So if you were at 45, you're gonna go up to at least 60, at least. Now that could be a little scary. And I know that because when I went from $30 to $50, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. But when you get the visibility and you start generating a lot of clients because you're in demand, we have the right system that you will never break your business no matter if you go by $15. That's exactly what we do. So if you're going by $5 every 2 years, like you're still staying stagnant and comfortable. No matter if you're consistent, at the end of the day, you are relying on the OG method. Whenever you go up in price, you should be minimally going up in price by $15. And also, like at the end of the day, like I think a lot of everybody's goal is to work less and make more. If you say, oh, like I just love working, I do it for the passion. Yeah, you do. You might do it for the passion, you know. And I'm not saying that I didn't like cutting hair, because I love cutting hair. Like I would love seeing my clients, you know, like spinning around the chair and like, damn, bro, like you saved my life. You know, you made me look way better, or whatever the case is. Like, yeah, that's passion right there. But when it comes to business of you making money, you don't want to be like a supporter to your clients. Like, oh, it's because I just feel bad because they probably won't pay. When you are high demand, you are generating new clients, so much new clients that our students, like some of our students, or a lot of our students actually last month, like at least 12 of them generated over 100 new clients. So even if they had 100 clients before, like you should never care about the clients that you have right now, because when you go up in price, sometimes or most of the time you lose some clients. But it doesn't really matter when you lose, because you're so much in demand that you can still be booked out confidently when you go up in price by whether $15, $20, or $25. And that's actually the goal, to make more money and save time. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't know about you, but like I wouldn't want to be a barber charging like $60 or whatever your price goal is, and still be behind the chair all day, all night, and then you're out here posting like first one in, last one out, fully booked out. And it's like, yes, that's cool for like, you're like as well like in like grind season. There's a lot of seasons that you're also on. But think about it, you don't want to be behind the chair every fucking day, all for the years. You want to make more time and make more money. And the time whether you want to be with your family, with your girl, or you want to like, you know, have time for yourself, like that's exactly what you want to have as well. Like it's never just gonna be about being behind the chair, you know, like back hurting all the time, boom, boom, boom. It's like, no, like I don't really call that freedom. You might be financial, but you're not free. And the only reason why you're gonna do all this is to make more money, for whatever reason it is. So I would want to save time. Now, a good thing about building a brand as well, all this will not happen if you don't post, and you know that. And like I said earlier, it's not just about posting, but posting the right systems, the right content that will generate you the clients to be in demand. Now, why is it important to build a brand? Building a brand can actually like not just help you in the barber business, like not just get you clout and get you some likes and views, which a lot of you guys for some reason are fucking like so hungry for that, rather than actually making you more money. Building a brand can lead for a lot of opportunities, whether it is, if we're talking more like for barbering, like you guys can get more like collabs with brand deals. You guys can learn how to monetize. You guys can get more opportunities with like cutting somebody that you wanted. But most importantly, building a brand, it takes a lot of skill as well. It takes skill and it takes dedication of being consistent. But building a brand, whether you want to, you know, one day open up your barbershop and you already have a brand, bro, like it's going to be so easy to get barbers. Why? Because you already have a brand. People already trust you. Like there's a lot of trust, and you would have the best barbers in your city, in your town, paying you rent, no doubt. Or you maybe want to move on to something else, like whether it's building a different business, getting into like real estate, or whatever the case is. Building a brand can get you a lot of leverage to whatever you want to move on, whether it's your next step or your next building business. So you have to think a lot about your future. Always going to be about your future. Don't think your business about tomorrow, whether you're going to get booked out next week, because it's more about next week. It's more about, tomorrow. It's even more about next month. It's about your future in your business, and it will never happen if you do not post today, wherever you're watching this video, whether it's, in the next month, I don't know, whenever you watch this video. But like I said, you have a reason why you need to post. You guys, whether you want to be financially free for whatever case, or you want to raise your prices, you want to be the best barber in your city, or you want to be the most known or the most getting new clients, because at the end of the day, we go back to this, it's more than just for you. It's for a bigger picture, and whether it's for your family or for people that doubted you when you started cutting hair, or because you want to prove something to someone that ever doubted you, you know exactly why you need to do this, and it will never happen if you never post. So I hope this video actually kind of like not just motivate you, because you could be motivated today and then you forget next week. But I feel like, I really hope this video actually build a spark for you to actually want to build and get all this like you say that you actually want to. Now, if you are a barber and you know that you have been doing a lot of these and you are actually fucking tired of being here and you want change, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram, and we can see how we can help you out. So this is gonna be one of many, but if you are ready to actually lock the fuck in and you are tired of your situation, text me on Instagram and we'll see how we can best help you out.